Right, so drafting gate. On the side we've got an on-off button, which you'll need to use sometimes. The gate screen can freeze up at times, and also if the power's been out you'll need to restart it. So it's past milking, and so this is like a summary now of all the cows that have been milked, all the cows that went through the centre, all the cows that were drafted left, which in this case is the sick cows, and there was no cows drafted right today. It's always a good habit just to check that all the cows came to the shed. So if we look down the bottom we can see 400 cows came through the shed. There's no more cows left to draft. There's one cow that did not present at the shed today. So I'll just check who she is. Cow 192, and I can look down here and just type 192 in. And I can see she was last at the shed on the 8th of April, but we're up to the 3rd of May today, so she's been missing for a while. But in this case I've already looked up this cow. She's missing her NATE tag, and the annoying thing with a NATE tag is you've got to manually find that cow and draft her out, which I haven't done yet, to put a new tag in. So she's been missing on here for a while, but I do know that she's okay because on Cow Manager she's alive and well, so that's no issue. But it's just a good habit to keep an eye on that and be aware of who you're looking for, who's missing. So just on a normal day today, you might see a cow, you want to draft her, so you're just going to type that number in and click continue. Because we've already milked it, that cow's actually already been through, and that's why she's not showing up, but she would still draft right now had she come in. That gate doesn't know that gate will continue to draft and draft and draft that cow. So so say if 4, 5, 6 came in now, she has already been drafted, but if you keep bringing her through, she'll draft. So if you've actually brought a cow through and you want to now let her go through the centre, you are going to either have to do something like stop drafting, just to stop them drafting, because sometimes you want to bring them back through, and then the second time you brought them through you want them to not be drafted, so you can stop it there, or you can delete that. Now I'm just going to make it go back to drafting. Cool. So with our sick cows lately, we've just been setting them to a permanent draft. So if I wanted to set a cow for a permanent draft, I'm going to go add draft. I'll put the cow in, and I could set a specific date, or I could just do permanent. So so we go permanent, and we can give a reason. I'm just going to go and put the word test in there because I need to remember to delete her later, and save. So every day now that cow 434 will continue to draft left until I delete it. But then of course at times we actually want to take one of these cows and she's fine, she's ready to go back into the herd, so I need to bring that cow up. So 194 drafts, and we just need to clear all, get rid of those. Okay, so tomorrow she'll just go back into the herd like normal. If we add that draft like cow 1, and continue, we might want to do it on a specific date. Perhaps she's sold or something like that, so we can just select the date. Session 1's the morning milking, session 2 is the afternoon milking. You can sort of change around the dates and times for that if you're not happy with how they are in the settings. But so we'll go 4th, and just save, and then up here in the calendar you can see on the 4th that she's set to draft. It's a little bit funny because if they're set by date they come up, but if they're permanent drafts, they if they're permanently drafted they're not going to actually show on here. This is just the ones that we've typed in for dates. Oh, camera's gone a bit fuzzy. There we go. Okay, so so Stella must be typed in by dates. She's coming up every day. There's some other cows that I've been adding in, sitting testing. Alright, so some other things with the gate. If I want to, like if I've got a cow with no NATE tag, I'm going to have to use this remote to actually draft her out. So pretty self-explanatory. Just pressing that button, pressing it again to set the gate back. Sometimes that one there is good, because if I just need to stop the cows for some reason I can just press that and shut those shutters, and yeah, so that can be handy. Basically if I find that cow that needs the NATE tag, pretty much the main way I'm going to get her out is to mark her with some spray paint and then stand there and use that remote to get her, and then she'll come through. Now, just to add complications that aren't normally a feature, but I did just actually buy some cows and I haven't set the number on them, so I'll just use an example, a number, but I know what I'm doing to sort this out later because I still need to re-tag this cow and stuff. But this red cow here is an unidentified cow. The system has read that cow, doesn't know who it is. Now, when I'm adding bulk cows in, I don't need to do this, but when I'm just got 1 or 2 cows, it's just easier than going into the system and doing it. So I'm just going to double click that cow and identify her. So adding 1003 today, but I'll change that later. And save. So yes, so 1003. So now I could actually look up 1003 you know, to find information about her or to draft her out or whatever I need to do. So yeah, there's that. And what else I need to show? So on the drafting gate there's a sprayer unit. Now if I'm using that spray unit, I do need to turn it on at the gate, but I also need to turn it on here. So we've got a few different options on here. So it's set to cow manager, it's got the back sprayer connected, and we can go yes, and change some of those settings on there, like how long it's going to spray for, and if there's any delay. So let's save that. But then we're actually going to have to go over to the gate as well. With this gate, if you leave that sprayer on and it's actually got no spray in it, the pump will keep running, which is really bad for it. So whenever I'm not spraying with it, I'll turn it back off again. But basically, this container here is just where we've been putting the spray, which is currently just, we use it for fly spray for the cows, like every couple of weeks, and that's all connected up. There's a red tap here. It's up here. Turn that on to get the pump going, and now as each cow comes through they'll get sprayed. It's building up some pressure, but it's currently empty, so it's not actually going to spray. Alright, so we'll switch that back off. Cool. So basically it has to be turned on here and it has to be turned on at the gate in order for it to work, and you need spray in there, and once the sprays run out you do need to make sure to actually yeah, switch it off it. Alright, so I'll just turn that back off again and save. If I need to add like a report, like so if I want to actually draft a large number of cows, I might go add a draft and actually import a list. So I've got all these lists here that I've imported through from Minder, so I've like downloaded reports on here, and so if I wanted to draft out that group of cows, I could just open that and it's going to bring all those cows on, and then continue, send them left, right, select the date and that kind of thing. I don't actually want to, so we'll get rid of that. In order to get that report on the internet on here, I have got all of the things kind of logged in on here. So that was a Minder report. So I had already made the Minder report. I find it hard to do it on this touch screen because it's a little bit funny, but so I've already, you know, I make my reports on my actual computer. And then I've got, yeah, all the things on here and all my groups, and I can use that to sort of download the groups that I want and then just upload them onto here. It'll be under, I'm sure it'll be under reporting, and then my reports perhaps. Yeah, and then already saved, you can go export as a CSV, and then that's obviously going to come up there, then you can get back out of it, and then you can, when you add that draft, you'll be able to find it in the imports from today. There it is there, so and then you can upload it, you know what I mean. So get out of that for now. There was unfortunately no easy way to add names on this, which was a pain. So if you've got a cow, you need to type it in. So if you've got 55 and you actually have to go edit cow, type the name in, save it. Hers is already done, but some cows haven't been done. Or I guess you could like find a cow, and then, yeah, there's a few cows on here with no names. think that one's called Sophie, pretty sure. So you double click it and edit cow and then add those details, you know, if you ever wanted to change anything on there. So just coming through the gate here, this is the sprayer up here that sprays the cows when that back spray is connected. There's also sensors on the sides, and sometimes they can get a little bit dirty, and so if the gate's missing cows and that kind of thing, then sometimes those sensors just need a little clean up. Now I can see this gate has been left and left open, but just when we're like really relying on the gates, like if it's mating or something, it would be annoying if the gate was left open and the cows were drafted, but drafted to nowhere, so they'd just go back straight in with the other cows. So just keeping those gates shut at the end of milking so that the cows end up in the right places if they are drafted out. I also have Google remote desktop set up, so then I can access it off my laptop at home or on my phone, and I find it really handy on my phone because if I see a lame cow or something, I can just set her to draft. And then also if I've got like large numbers of animals, like say if I'm selling some cows or something like that, I can set them up, set them to draft a certain day. I can just do it from home or just find it easier on the laptop. So everything looks the same, you're just basically operating that same screen. Just something that I didn't show before is that over mating, I was just playing around with it before, but you need to have the settings on Cow Manager set up. So I just ticked these that currently they were all unticked, but if I am using the Cow Manager system, I can set if the cows are going to go left or right, so you should send them right, and I might just want to draft them in session 1 or session 1 and 2. You can change the settings, like if you want to set a higher threshold for what cows actually get drafted, you can do the same with the sick cows, have them automatically draft. Can be like sometimes a little bit oversensitive, so it's questionable whether that one's helpful or not. And then you click, small settings there, but you click save and save. And we had a little bit of trouble over mating, with the cows not coming up here. They should automatically be coming up, so there's a little bit of an error there, but the cows that are set to draft should be showing on that screen in the morning and also showing on the list of cows to draft over mating time. So those should be showing in the morning, so when you arrive at the shed in the morning during mating, you want to check that those cows are ready and set to draft. I've got my little calendar up here of what cows are going to draft on what day, and I set a cow to draft on the 6th, and I was thinking, oh, where did her draft go, because I did set one. But actually up the top here you've got session 1 and 2, and I set her to draft in session 2, so for the afternoon session. So actually I have to click up here between session 1 and 2 to actually see who's going to draft there. Now when I'm in this area here, I can also just click on a cow, so I'm going to click on 100 because she's the cow that I use to test. I don't actually want to draft her, and I can just modify or remove the draft here as well, so I'm just going to take that one away. Just something else that can catch you out, the cows, like the milking times, basically when it gets to 12 it's going to clear. So well, that's just how I have it set at the moment. So it's just gone past, well, it's a bit past 12, so now it's basically ready for the next milking. So if we look here, it's showing no cows, there's no cows left or right. If I go to draft, it's got all those cows there that are set to draft today, ready to go. So it can get a little bit confusing, like for example, if we were milking in the middle of the day or something like that, we don't actually want it to clear halfway through. So depending on our milking times, we can go into system, program setup, and we can set the times. So we can say if it's 1 milking a day, 2 milkings a day, 3, and then we can set the times when the sessions are. So basically right now before 12 is session 1, and then at 12 it clears, ready for session 2. We're actually milking once a day now, so I'm just going to save it like that. We can also modify things like the font sizes and whatnot in the same area. So those cows that weren't listed there, I just had a look and the screen was actually logged out of it, out of Cow Manager. So I was just thinking though, something that helped over calving. I mean, if there was a big problem, the Cow Manager people would just sort it because there was a few teething issues, but in general, we could just go into this control center area here, and I guess you can sort of see on the dashboard here that the whole system's up and running, so that's good, and I am now logged in. But over mating, we could go this alert export, and if there was a problem in the morning, those cows just weren't coming up, then this did fix most of our issues. I just click do a test run, and then that would do its thing, and then usually soon after those cows would come up. But yeah, if it's happening every day, then there's something wrong. You shouldn't have to do this, but it's just good to know. But otherwise, yeah, the cow manager and gate people, they can remotely sort out the issues from their end to make sure it just comes up each day. Okay, so now that I've reconnected that and I've done the test run, it's all come back up here now. So yeah, so each day you could actually look at this. You can see who's sick. You can use this to look at who's on heat, but no one's on heat today. So each day when you come in and you've got those settings set up for the cows so that they automatically draft when they're on heat, you should see them come up ready to go. So when the settings are all set up over mating, you really shouldn't have to touch anything in the morning. This is a list of all those cows coming straight from Cow Manager. So you've got all your sick cows, and as I said, there's no on heat cows today, so there's nothing showing there. So if we're looking at cow 21, Penny, she is showing as very sick, 75 hours, and if we had the settings set for our sick cows, she'd automatically draft as well. So you can have it all set up so that you shouldn't need to touch the screen. And just one thing, just as a summary, it can be a little confusing. It says there's only one cow to draft, but then when you go into this draft list, it's showing that there's 5 there to draft. And something I've noticed is it just doesn't count down here any cows that are permanently drafted. So there's only one cow on there drafted by dates. The other ones must just be set to a permanent draft, so that makes that number up. Just while you're looking to this here list here, the cows, that's just showing all the remaining cows that are left there to milk.